The siren wailed behind me like a scream in the night, pulling me over on the empty stretch of I-95 just outside Boston. Heart pounding, I gripped the steering wheel, my mind racing through the excuses. I'd been speeding, sure, but only because the argument with my parents had left me raw and desperate to escape. The cop approached, flashlight piercing the darkness, and when he leaned in, his voice was calm but commanding. "Step out of the car, son. Do this one thing for me and you can leave, no ticket, no questions." I froze, staring at the badge on his chest that read, Officer Mark Riley. What could he possibly mean? My hands trembled as I unbuckled my seatbelt, the cool night air hitting me like a slap. I'd heard stories about crooked cops, but this felt different. His eyes held a flicker of something vulnerable, not menacing. "What do you want?" I stammered, my voice barely above a whisper. He glanced around, ensuring we were alone, then said, "Tell me your truth, the one you're hiding. I've seen that look before, in the mirror." My name is Alex Thompson, 28 years old, a junior associate at a prestigious law firm in downtown Boston. On the surface, my life was picture perfect. Ivy League degree, sleek apartment in Back Bay, and a family that bragged about me at every holiday gathering. But beneath it all, I was suffocating. I'd known I was gay since high school, but coming from a conservative Catholic family in suburban Massachusetts, admitting it felt like signing my own exile papers. My parents, devout and traditional, had drilled into me the importance of normalcy. Marriage, kids, the whole American dream package. So I dated women sporadically, lied through my teeth at family dinners, and buried my desires in late-night gym sessions and endless work hours. That night, the blow-up had been inevitable. We'd gathered for my sister's engagement party, and amid the toasts and laughter, my mother cornered me in the kitchen. "Alex, when are you going to bring home a nice girl? You're not getting any younger." Her words were laced with that familiar mix of love and expectation, but they ignited something in me. I snapped, "Maybe I'm not interested in girls, Mom. Ever think of that?" The room fell silent. My father's face turned to stone, and he muttered, "Don't you dare bring that filth into this house." I stormed out, jumped in my car, and floored it, tears blurring the road ahead. Now here I was, facing Officer Riley Mark, who seemed to see right through my facade. "Why me?" I asked, stepping onto the gravel shoulder. He lowered his flashlight, revealing a face that was rugged yet kind, with sharp jawline and eyes that held a storm. "Because I know what it's like to hide," he replied softly. "I'm on duty, but off the record, I could use someone to talk to. And you look like you need it more than a speeding ticket." We sat on the hood of my car, the highway humming in the distance. I don't know why I opened up. Maybe it was the exhaustion or the way he listened without judgment, but I poured it out. The crushes I'd crushed down, the fake relationships, the fear of losing my family's approval. Mark nodded, sharing bits of his own story. Growing up in a blue-collar Irish family where being gay was equated with weakness. He joined the force to prove his toughness, married young to fit in, but divorced after realizing he couldn't live the lie. "The job doesn't make it easy," he said. "Rumors spread like wildfire in the precinct. One wrong move and you're out." As the conversation flowed, a strange connection sparked. He wasn't just a cop. He was a mirror to my struggles. By the time dawn crept over the horizon, he'd let me go with a warning, and his number scribbled on a napkin. "Call if you need to talk," he said. Driving home, I felt lighter, but terrified. What had I just started? The next few days blurred in a haze of work and avoidance. My parents called repeatedly, leaving voicemails laced with concern and veiled disappointment. "We love you, Alex, but think about what you're saying," my mother pleaded. I ignored them, focusing instead on the napkin in my drawer. Finally, on a rainy Thursday, I texted Mark, "Coffee." His reply was instant. "Sure. Meet at the diner on Beacon Street." Our first meeting off duty was awkward at first. Him in civilian clothes, jeans and a hoodie that made him look younger, me in my suit, fresh from court. But as we talked over steaming mugs, the barriers crumbled. He shared stories of precinct life, the camaraderie mixed with underlying homophobia. Last year, a guy got outed, lost his partner assignments, got the cold shoulder. I keep my head down. I confessed my own battles. The law firm where being openly gay could alienate conservative clients. The friends who drifted away when I dodged questions about my love life. What began as catharsis evolved into something deeper. We'd meet for walks in the common, sharing laughs over shared experiences. The thrill of a stolen glance, the ache of isolation. Mark's presence was grounding. He challenged me to confront my fears. You can't live for their approval forever, he'd say. But I saw the hypocrisy. He was still closeted at work, dating women casually to maintain appearances. One evening, as we sat on a bench watching joggers, he took my hand briefly. The touch sent electricity through me, but he pulled away quickly. We have to be careful, he whispered. I nodded, but inside, resentment brewed. Why was I the one pushing for authenticity while he hid? Weeks turned into months, and our secret meetings became the highlight of my life. Mark and I found solace in hidden corners of the city, quiet cafes in Cambridge, late-night drives along the Charles River. He opened up about his ex-wife, Sarah, how their marriage had been a facade built on societal pressure. She knew before I did, he admitted one night, staring at the water. We parted as friends, but it cost me everything. My family's respect, my sense of self. I shared my own scars. The high school bully who'd taunted me, the college roommate who'd distanced himself after a drunken confession. But cracks began to show. My work suffered. Late nights thinking about Mark left me distracted in meetings. A senior partner pulled me aside. Thompson, you're slipping. Get your head in the game. At home, the silence from my parents grew deafening. Then came the ultimatum. My father emailed, "Come to dinner Sunday. We need to talk about your phased." I confided in Mark, expecting support, but he hesitated. Maybe tone it down for now. Family's important. His words stung. Easy for you to say, you're still pretending at work. We argued for the first time, voices rising in his apartment. You think it's simple? He shot back. One slip and I'm done. No pension, no respect. I left in anger, slamming the door, but the next day he apologized with flowers at my office. Risky, but touching. The dinner with my family was a disaster. My parents ambushed me with a priest from our old parish, Father O'Connor, who lectured on moral choices and resisting temptation. My mother cried, "We raised you better than this." My father added, "Think about your career, your future kids." I exploded, "There won't be kids if I live a lie." Storming out again, I drove straight to Mark's, tears streaming. He held me that night, our first real embrace, but it was laced with tension. "I can't keep doing this halfway," I said. He promised change, but doubt lingered. Soon after, rumors swirled at his precinct. Someone had seen us together. Mark panicked, canceling plans. "We need space," he texted. Betrayed, I threw myself into work, but the emptiness gnawed. Then came the turning point. My sister, Emily, called. "Alex, I support you. Mom and Dad are wrong." Her words were a lifeline, but they highlighted Mark's cowardice. I confronted him at a park. "Choose. Us or the closet." He looked torn, eyes pleading. "Give me time." Time, however, was not on our side. A colleague at my firm, jealous of my promotions, dug into my personal life and spread whispers. "Thompson's got a secret boyfriend. A cop, no less." The partners called me in, questioning my stability. I denied nothing, standing firm for the first time. "If that's a problem, fire me." They didn't, but the damage was done. Clients hesitated, assignments dwindled. Mark faced his own storm. His captain pulled him aside after an anonymous tip. "Riley, word is you're involved with a man." "True." Mark denied it vehemently, throwing me under the bus in his fear. When he confessed to me later, guilt etched on his face. I felt the betrayal like a knife. "You chose the job over us." We broke apart that night, words hurled like weapons. "You're no better than my parents," I accused. He retorted, "At least I'm realistic." Driving home, I realized the cost. My heart shattered, but I'd gained a sliver of self-respect. Yet fate twisted again. Weeks later, Mark showed up at my door, badge in hand. "I quit," he said simply. "Couldn't live with the lie anymore." Stunned, I let him in, but trust was fractured. We talked for hours, him explaining the internal battle, the fear of unemployment, the shame ingrained from childhood. Losing you woke me up. Tentatively, we rebuilt. But society wasn't done with us. My parents disinvited me from family events, citing influence on the nieces and nephews. Mark's former colleagues shunned him, calling him a disgrace. Job hunts were brutal. Doors slammed shut due to unspoken biases. One day, at a support group for LGBTQ professionals, we met others with similar stories. Doctors outed by patients, teachers fired over rumors. It fueled our resolve, but the toll was heavy. I lost weight, sleep evaded me, haunted by what-ifs. As spring bloomed in Boston, so did our fragile reconciliation. Mark found work as a security consultant, leveraging his police experience without the uniform's constraints. I pushed through at the firm, winning a high-profile case that silenced doubters. We moved in together, a cozy apartment in South End, symbolizing our commitment. But shadows loomed. My family's rejection festered like an open wound. Emily became our bridge, sneaking visits and relaying messages. "They're coming around slowly," she'd say. But a family wedding tested everything. Invited only as a +1 without Mark, I faced a choice. Attend alone or boycott. "Go," Mark urged. "For closure." I went, but the reception was tense. Relatives whispered. My parents avoided eye contact. When the DJ played a slow song, I sat alone, aching for Mark. Driving back, I called him, voice breaking. "I can't do this without you." He met me halfway, pulling over on the same stretch of I-95 where we'd met. "Then let's fight for us," he said, proposing we elope. Just us, no fanfare. Overwhelmed, I agreed, but doubt crept in. Was this rushing to escape pain? The elopement was simple, at a courthouse in Provincetown, the gay mecca of Massachusetts. Vows exchanged under rainbow flags felt liberating, but reality hit hard. News leaked. Emily congratulated us publicly on social media, igniting family fury. My father called, "You've disgraced us. Don't come back." The words echoed, triggering a spiral of guilt. Had I chosen love over blood? Mark's side wasn't better. His brother, a fellow cop, cut ties, accusing him of betraying the brotherhood. Isolation bred arguments. Small things escalated. "You pushed me into this," he'd snap during fights. "I gave up everything for you." The pressure mounted, our home becoming a battlefield of resentments. Then came the ultimate test. A former colleague of Mark's, bitter over his departure, outed us to a local tabloid. Headlines screamed, "Ex-cop's secret gay life rocks Boston PD." Protests erupted. Conservative groups picketed Mark's new office, calling for boycotts. My firm faced backlash. Clients pulled out, citing moral concerns. We hunkered down, but the strain showed. Mark drank more, I withdrew into work. One night, after a vicious argument, he stormed out. Hours later, a call from the hospital. He'd been in a bar fight, defending our honor against slurs. Stitches on his brow, he looked defeated. "Is this worth it?" he whispered. Holding his hand, I realized the depth of our sacrifices. We'd traded security for authenticity, but at what cost? Therapy helped, sessions unpacking childhood traumas, societal pressures. Slowly, we healed, supporting each other through the storm. But betrayal struck again. Emily confessed. She'd leaked the wedding news intentionally, hoping to force reconciliation. "I thought it'd make them accept you." Furious, I cut her off temporarily, feeling the web of family deceit tighten. As summer waned, a glimmer emerged. Mark landed a job at an LGBTQ advocacy group, channeling his experiences into change. I volunteered too, speaking at events about workplace discrimination. Our story inspired others, but personally, scars remained. Fall brought crisp air and renewed challenges. My mother's health declined. A mild heart attack, blamed on stress. Guilt consumed me. Was I the cause? I visited the hospital alone, Mark waiting outside. She looked frail, eyes softening at my sight. Alex, I don't understand, but I miss you. Tears flowed. We talked haltingly about acceptance. My father lurked in the background, silent but present. Mark encouraged reconciliation, but his own family remained estranged. His mother sent a letter. Come home without him. He tore it up, but the pain lingered. Our relationship deepened through adversity, intimate moments reaffirming our bond. Cooking dinners, planning trips. Yet, external pressures persisted. At an advocacy rally, we faced counter-protesters hurling insults. One recognized Mark. Traitor! A scuffle ensued. Mark shielded me, taking a punch. Bruised but unbowed, we pressed charges, turning the incident into a media win for equality. Success bred envy. A rival at my firm, sensing vulnerability, sabotaged a case, leaking confidential info, framing me. Investigated, I fought back, proving my innocence but losing the promotion. This is the price, Mark said, holding me. But resentment built. Why did loving him cost so much? A moral dilemma arose when Mark's old precinct offered reinstatement, with conditions. Denounce his lifestyle publicly. Tempted by stability, he considered it. Just words, he rationalized. Horrified, I argued. That's betraying yourself and us. The fight was brutal. He accused me of selfishness. You have your fancy job. I have nothing. He didn't take the offer, but the seed of doubt grew. Holidays approached, amplifying isolation. We spent Thanksgiving alone, toasting to survival, but emptiness echoed. Then, a breakthrough, my parents invited us for Christmas, tentatively. Bring Mark, the note read. Hopeful, we went. The evening was awkward, conversations skirting truths. But when my father pulled Mark aside, whispering, "Take care of my son," it felt like progress. Yet society struck back. A viral video from the rally painted us as agitators, costing Mark donors for his group. Financial strain mounted. We downsized, tensions rising. In a moment of weakness, Mark reconnected with Sarah, his ex, for advice. I discovered texts innocent but intimate. Jealousy flared. Are you regretting us? He denied, but trust frayed again. Therapy revealed deeper issues. My abandonment fears, his identity struggles. We committed to honesty, but the road was rocky. Winter's chill mirrored our internal battles. My mother's recovery brought family closer. Weekly calls evolved into visits. Mark joined cautiously, winning them over with stories of his service. My father thawed, admitting, I was wrong to judge. But full acceptance was gradual, marked by slips, like avoiding PDA discussions. Professionally, I switched firms to one championing diversity, thriving anew. Mark's advocacy work gained traction. A TEDx talk on police reform and LGBTQ rights went viral, earning acclaim but hate mail. Amid progress, a ghost returned. Mark's brother, Sean, showed up unannounced. You're ruining the family name, he spat. A heated confrontation ensued. Sean revealed he'd been the anonymous tipster years ago, driven by jealousy. Mark forgave him eventually, but the betrayal lingered, testing our resilience. Our love, forged in fire, grew stronger. We adopted a dog, symbolizing stability, planning a real wedding with friends. But moral quandaries persisted. Should we sue discriminators or forgive? Mark pushed for justice. I favored peace. A crisis peaked when my firm defended a company accused of anti-gay policies. Assigned the case, I faced a choice. Win for career boost or recuse for ethics. Think of us, Mark urged. I recused, facing backlash but gaining integrity. Mark's turn came. Offered a book deal on his story, requiring full disclosure, including our struggles. It could help others, he said, but privacy concerns divided us. We compromised, anonymizing details. As spring returned, healing accelerated. Family barbecues included us. Mark's mother called apologetic. Society shifted too, local laws improved, inspired by our advocacy. Yet, damage endured. Health scares from stress, lost friendships. We reflected on choices. Was the pain worth the freedom? With summer's warmth, our lives stabilized. The wedding was intimate, surrounded by allies. Emily as maid of honor, my parents beaming. Vows renewed our commitment. Through betrayal and awakening, we choose each other. Post-honeymoon, challenges persisted but lessened. Mark's book became a bestseller, sparking dialogues on identity. I mentored young LGBTQ lawyers, paying forward support. Reconciliations completed. Sean's apology led to tentative bonds. My family embraced us fully, hosting holidays. But scars reminded us of costs. Lost years, emotional tolls. We volunteered, helping others navigate similar paths, finding purpose in pain. In quiet moments, we pondered. Had we chosen wrongly at times? The journey taught that love demands sacrifice, but authenticity liberates. Was sacrificing family ties for personal truth always the right choice? Or does compromise sometimes preserve more than it costs?